Zero. No one's in custody. We don't have any tips. No one said anything.
4 shootings in 5 days in Kalamazoo, injuring at least 5 people. Although tonight, no one, as you heard there, has been arrested or charged in any of those crimes. On Saturday, kids were running from bullets in a Kalamazoo park. Today, they were marching through the city, begging for an end to gun violence. Tonight, News Channel 3's Ali Jenajan is live in Kalamazoo to tell us why the chief of public safety says the community is not doing enough to solve the problem and why he can't do it alone, Ali.
Andy, Kalamazoo Police Chief Vernon Coakley got emotional today, telling me he doesn't have all the answers to stop gun violence. He says he can't put a cop on every corner or a positive role model in everyone's homes. But what he can do is encourage people to speak up when they see violence and teach kids at a young age that guns don't solve problems.
No more silence and gun violence.
Kids as young as 11 years old marched through Kalamazoo.
It could be you.
Minutes after Kalamazoo Police Chief Vernon Coakley speaks to them.
What does it mean to be community?
Their messages the same.
Put the guns down. Let's communicate with each other. Let's talk with each other. Let's teach right and wrong.
Kalamazoo saw 4 shootings in the last 5 days. On Saturday, someone opened fires on a Stop the Violence basketball tourney in Lacrone Park.
That's trauma that destroys lives. And it wasn't the police who did that. And don't ask where were the police all the time. The community was there, so you talk up and you speak.
Hands are meant to heal, not kill.
Well, our city is a great place to live, but it's just a handful of people that taint our city.
Outreach manager at Urban Alliance, James Harris, hosts a camp today for these kids, teaching them to be a part of the movement to end gun violence.
We have to also include the young people within that movement because I believe that they're part of the answer.
Coakley says it's critical to be out here today, to be partnering with groups like Urban Alliance. What is the solution?
I'm asking for the community's help in telling us, and so we can hold those accountable for doing those shootings to come forth.
Police say no one was killed in these 4 shootings. They also say that there have been 3 murders in the city as of July 3rd. That's compared to 7 during the same time last year.
Some took cover, others tried to escape. Witnesses describe a chaotic scene after a shooting at a basketball tournament in Kalamazoo. News Channel 3's Chris Yu explains what happened.
Yeah, Tricia, it was here at Lacrone Park in the Northside neighborhood where last night's shooting happened. You can see behind me that a lot of families visit this park. In fact, it was over here at those basketball courts. That was when a basketball tournament was going on, when witnesses say that someone in a passing vehicle fired several shots. The splash pad at Lacrone Park is an escape from the summer heat. But last night, people tried to escape from the summer violence.
Her grandmother was picking her up and her mother right there when it happened. So when the shots were flying, they were jumping in the car, because they had to.
We flip a table down.
Oh, you flipped the table down?
Yeah, we have the next game.
Okay. So for her to tell me that she had to escape a shooting was ridiculous.
Charles Burton says his 4-year-old granddaughter, Ava, was at Lacrone Park in the Northside neighborhood when the shooting happened around 8 last night.
For her to tell me that she seen somebody get shot in the arm or something, or she seen blood is just ridiculous.
The Stop the Violence basketball tournament was taking place at the park as well. Tournament organizer Samuel Graves says someone fired shots from a passing car.
It was numerous of kids, numerous of families that was out here, so it wasn't nothing for me to do but grab kids, take cover.
Police say 3 men suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but at last check, no arrest had been made.
I keep my eye open, for things, but I'm not going to stop taking my kids' places, and grandkids' places.
According to the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety, there have been 3 murders as of July 3rd. That's 4 less compared with the same time last year. But Burton remains concerned.
To have shootings be the problem like that in Kalamazoo, it's getting a little extreme.
About an hour after last night's shooting here at Lacrone Park, there was another shooting on North Church Street. We're told 1 person was injured in that one. Last Thursday, there was yet another shooting on North Rose Street. We're aware of at least 1 person who was hurt in that shooting as well. All those locations are in the Northside neighborhood.
And to help curb gun violence in the city, the Kalamazoo City Commission is allocating $550,000. As Chris mentioned just yesterday, 4 people were injured in 2 separate shootings on the city's north side. And News Channel 3's Amira Austin is joining us live in studio with how the city is planning to use these funds to combat this ongoing gun violence. Amira.
That's right, Tricia. That money is coming from a portion of the Federal American Rescue Plan Act funds. Now, I spoke to a city commissioner today who says the city plans to partner with community organizations to fight gun violence in 2 ways. 1, intervention to try to stop it now, and 2, prevention to limit it in the future. However, the commissioner says they can't do it alone. 4 victims, 2 shootings, all within 1 hour of each other. City Commissioner Esteban Juarez says hearing about incidents like the shootings last night is heartbreaking and overwhelming.
Dealing with this epidemic, it's an epidemic, right? It's like the new crack. Gun violence, if you think about it, it's like it's sweeping through urban communities.
Juarez says the money the commission allocated to prevent gun violence will go to the United Way of South Central Michigan. They will then disperse it to local nonprofits that are directly working to prevent violence.
Want to see this money and hope to see this money be used for those organizations who have been doing the work, who've been on the front line constantly, day in and day out, who have a heart for this, who are affected by this, to get those resources.
It's a closed application process, and the City Commission has recommended that 5 nonprofits be invited to apply, including Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kalamazoo, Straight Motivation, and Urban Alliance. Almost a year ago, the City Commission declared gun violence a public health crisis. Juarez says in order to make a difference, everyone has to do their part.
But if we don't come together as a community to combat gun violence, it will never change.
Now, according to the United Way, the process from the time of applications to distributing the funds is estimated to take 10 weeks.